So I'm just about to do something completely different, completely new. I'm going to do something that relates to watches and this YouTube channel that I've never done before. I'm about to get on a plane to go to Singapore and then further on to Thailand to go look at watches, to go to speak to people that are in the watch world, in the watch industry, and I'm going to be making videos about that for this channel. And that is the specific reason why I'm going traveling. And I've never done this before, and I'm really excited to go on this YouTube watch travel. It's going to be fun, it's going to be cool, but it leaves me with a question. It leaves me with the question of which watch or watches should I take with me? Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches, and I'm just about to head off, but I need to figure out which watches that I'm going to be taking. Now, I really hope that you join me on this journey to Singapore and then on to Thailand, because I'm going to be making a heap of videos, and I hope they're really interesting and also diverse. And I think they're going to be somewhat entertaining, but I definitely need to figure out which watch or watches that I'm going to take with me. Because I'm going to be moving around a lot, I've decided that I was really only just going to take one watch, and that was until the brand Second Hour reached out to me about their brand new release watch coming very, very soon. But I said to them, I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough time to make that review. I'm heading off to Singapore, and they said, well, take the watch with you. Make a review whilst you're there. So the first watch that I'm going to be taking is that brand new release from Second Hour. I'm not going to show you it in this video because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show you that watch, but then it did still leave me with the idea of, well, I still want a second watch to take with me. Which should I take? Because as I looked at my current collection of watches, I could see quite a few that I would like to take. Now, considering that the Second Hour watch is a more Garter style watch, I was thinking maybe I should take something different. However, because it is going to be a hot and humid area both in Singapore and Thailand, I've decided against taking anything on a leather strap, and it has then sort of brought me down to 4 watches that I'm considering taking with me. Firstly, my Erebus Ascent. Yes, I'll switch it back onto the bracelet if I do take this one, but I thought it is somewhat different, a little bit more dressy. It is a beautiful watch that I love having with me, so it would be a good option to take with me. And I do like the idea of having a micro brand with me too, because a lot of the watches that I'm going to be seeing, a lot of the brands that I'm going to be speaking to in Singapore are also micros. So the idea of taking 2 micro brands with me was quite a nice thought, which then kind of led on to my Formex Essence 39. Again, a great size, a Garter watch, easily worn on the bracelet, something rather nice, different color to the Second Hour watch too, which I thought might change it up a little bit. And the quality of this one is so nice that it is just a nice one to have with me. And although it's not specifically what I would describe as a micro brand, well, it's not exactly a mainstream brand, so I thought that might tick that box too. But one watch that I just don't like being without, because it is one of my most worn watches, is my IWC Spitfire. And albeit it's not specifically a Garter watch or a sports watch, it's a watch that I sort of wear in that sort of, well, that sort of experience that I need, because it is on a metal bracelet and it tends to be something that works quite well. And although I specifically kind of like the idea of taking a couple of micros with me, well, it's not something that I need to take. And since I have that Second Hour watch already, it could be quite interesting and quite nice to mix it up a little bit, and also mix it up a little bit with the design, this being a pilot's watch. And with that in mind, the last that I'm thinking about taking is my Christopher Ward Series 1 Dartmouth. Again, a watch that can be easily worn in this hot, humid environment with the water resistance, with the metal bracelet, and it is a nice watch to wear every day. In fact, it's one of the reasons why I bought this one, because it is a bit more of an everyday wearing watch. And a little bit like the Formex, it's not specifically a micro brand anymore, but it's a little bit different not being a mainstream brand. Well, so as it turns out, I can actually show you this second hour Fusion. I was talking to the company and they said, yep, it's okay to show images of it. So this is the first watch that I'm going to be taking with me, but I've decided against taking my IWC with me because, well, it's such an important watch to me. It's important because I love it. It's important because I wear it all the time, but it was hard not to take with me because I do wear it all the time. But because I have that emotional connection to it, because I have that history with it, it would really upset me if it was then damaged or stolen or anything like that. So I'm not going to take my IWC with me. The other reason, the last reason I'm also not going to take that is because it is well and truly overdue for a service, and I'm not worried about the movement or the accuracy, but I'm more worried about maybe the water resistance of it. And since I'm going to such a hot and humid and possibly wet environment, I didn't want to take something which I just didn't 100% trust the water resistance of. So I'm just at the airport now, heading from Australia through to Singapore, just waiting for my flight. And I just came across a very cool watch store that wasn't here before, featuring a sort of a Rado and Tizzo, and then just got to try on a heap of Hamiltons that I've been wanting to try on for some time too, which is quite cool. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to tell you about what watches I'm taking, what watches I'm not taking, and I'm not going to take my Erebus. And that was actually a little bit of a hard decision to make because I really did want to take that watch with me because it is a bit more dressy, and I thought, well, maybe having a dressy Garda watch on top of that second hour watch would be a good idea, but I think that ended up being the reason why I haven't taken it, because I don't foresee myself needing a more dressy style watch. So I then pretty much decided which watch I was going to take with me. I was going to take the Formex Essence. So I thought, yep, different color to that second hour watch, another Garda watch on a bracelet, so it would be the perfect watch to take. Plus it's a great looking watch, great feeling watch, great everyday watch. But as I was walking out the door, heading towards the airport, I stopped, I turned around, I ran back inside again, and I changed my mind. So I didn't end up taking the Formex, and not for any reason against the Formex. I just suddenly, literally at that last minute, stepping out my front door, decided to put it back and swap it out for my Christopher Ward. And I did that because I just realised that I just wanted to have this watch with me on this trip. When I actually bought this Christopher Ward, I kind of bought it to be an everyday watch for myself. And even in the back of my mind, I thought about it as a watch that I was going to take traveling with me. And I think also being in this climate, being over here in Singapore, it's going to be a little bit hot and humid, having something that has lots of water resistance and a steel bracelet, well, that suits as well. And as it's turned out, that's probably a pretty good idea because it is really hot and a little bit humid here in Singapore. As it's turned out, even just with my lenses for my camera coming from the air-conditioned hotel out into the humid environment, it fogs it all up, so it's creating a little bit of a challenge. So having a watch with obviously some water resistance, but also a steel bracelet that I don't need to worry about sweating on was a good choice. And because the Christopher Ward is a dive watch as well, it gives me another style of watch. The Erebus and that Formex probably overlap a little bit with that second hour watch, all being sort of Garda style watches. So it's really nice now to have two watches with me, two watches from smaller brands that are with me to enjoy whilst I'm traveling to Singapore and then further on to Thailand, but two different styles of watches too. And whilst I'm traveling through Singapore and Thailand over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be making a heap of watch related videos. So make sure you stay tuned over the next couple of weeks because you're going to get to see some interviews with micro brand owners, store visits, seeing some specifically amazing watches, especially here in Singapore because it seems to be a hot spot for micro brands. And I'm going to take you on these travels with me. I'm also going to go hunting for watches like used watches and even vintage watches. So I think it's going to be quite a fun experience. It's going to be a fun thing to capture and it's going to be a fun thing to share with you guys. So make sure you stay tuned to Watching James, and whilst you're there and whilst you wait for those videos, maybe you could watch another couple of mine next.